at the Nigerian Exchange Group's building as the council's former president, Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede, was honored as a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. This was the 9th honorary fellow investiture since the inception of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and the president of the institute gave some insights into the award.
I have the immense pleasure of welcoming you to another major event marking CIS at the 38th anniversary celebrations of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The investiture today of Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede, CON, as honorary fellow of the institute is in furtherance of activities in the second phase of the CIS at 30 celebrations. As we have here present some important guests from outside the capital market community, I wish to begin by explaining that the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, for which you have come for the ceremony today, was established by Act 105 of 1992 and given the noble mandate of training and certifying persons deemed by the institute to be fit and proper to perform the duties of a core profession in the securities and investments industry, otherwise known as the capital market in Nigeria. Over the last 8 months, the institute has been celebrating its 30th year anniversary as a chartered professional body, and this event fittingly falls under the CIS at 30 celebration period, second phase, which runs up to September 2023. For the records, the forerunner of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, the Nigerian Institute of Stockbrokers, was registered under Nigerian laws as an incorporated body in 1990. After convincingly demonstrating its capacity to play the role it has set out for itself, the institute was duly recognized by the federal government of Nigeria as being worthy of filling the obvious void of a professional certifying body that existed in the Nigerian capital market space at that time.
Highlights of the event were the citation of the credentials of Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede and the formal investiture.
With a track record of major accomplishments in both for-profit and not-for-profit initiatives within Nigeria and beyond. As co-founder of Kenjan Family Office, Aig-Imoukhuede oversees a multi-billion-dollar portfolio of investments and businesses in banking, finance, insurance, technology, real estate, and energy, while through the Aig-Imoukhuede Foundation and its subsidiaries, the Africa Initiative for Governance, and the Aig-Imoukhuede Institute.
Can I invite the chairman of membership and all the board of fellows to please join me on the high table as I invite come up for the investiture. Papa.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the board of fellows of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. I will fulfill the necessary requirements, and by the powers conferred on me by the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, by Act 105 of 1992, and upon the recommendations of the Board of Fellows of the Institute, I, Oluwole Ololade Adeosun, hereby confer on you, Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede, CON, the Honorary Fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Congratulations. In decorating with the stole of office as an honorary fellow of the institute. Usually looking lovely, looking very nice, is the certificate of membership of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. It reads, I know some of you know how to see it. This is to certify that Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede was elected an honorary fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers on the 4th day of April 2021, given under the Common Seal of the Institute. And today, 21st of June, is being invested as Honorary Fellowship number HFCS 009, signed by the Registrar, Member of Council, and the President, Chairman of Council.
To commemorate the event, Mr. Aig-Imoukhuede performed the closing gong ceremony on the trading floor of the Nigerian Exchange Limited. The investee expressed delight over the investiture of Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and pledged to work more to create more initiatives that will impact future generations. He announced the launch of Coronation Group.
Let me, first of all, appreciate my community, the community of stockbrokers, capital market operators across the nation and across Africa. But those from the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers who carry the qualifications to be gentlemen of the brokerage business, I want to thank you for honoring me today. You could have been at your electronic terminals, but you have come out in force. And by the way, it's not just the ladies and gentlemen who are wearing a maroon bib. In this room, there are some brokers who are celebrating almost their 60th year as stockbrokers who are here, So we have the doyens, the principalities of finance, who are here. I want to thank you all for that.
Mr. Oluwale Adeosun, the president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, speaks further on the investiture.
The 9th Honorary Fellow is Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede, and by all measures, he qualified to be made a Honorary Fellow of the Institute in the non-professional category. A regular Fellow of the Institute is a professional that gets elevated from the associate level to become a Fellow. But in this case, we have this special class of Nigerians that have done a lot for the markets. They've done a lot to contribute to the development and growth of the Nigerian capital market. And because of that, they are just a select few. In 30 years of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, this is the 9th Honorary Fellow that will be investing. I had earlier mentioned during the ceremony itself the list of the 8 Honorary Fellows that preceded him. And those fellows, you agree with me that none of them you can say is not worried. They are head of states, captains of industries, and people that have contributed in this capital market. So, Aigbojie, by his contribution to the market, having crossed over after his tenure as the group CEO of Access Bank, which we saw him, moved up from a bank not recognized, is in the number 80s of the banks in Nigeria in those days before the banking consolidation, to have survived the consolidation and to have moved the bank now to be one of the largest 3 banks in Nigeria over the years speaks volume to his level of acumen, to his level of industry, and to the enormous managerial entrepreneurial skill that he has displayed. So he crossed over from banking and joined the Nigerian Stock Exchange in an honorary capacity as first vice president in 2013. And since he joined in 2013, it's been significant contribution that is made to the market. It's made significant contribution in form of policies of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It's made significant contribution in the way things are done and the way things are fashioned itself out with regards to the operations of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. More importantly, he drove the issue of the demutualization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which we have all witnessed, and is a thing of the past now. It's happened. It was thought not to be able to be possible before, but eventually he made it possible with his drive, with his passion, with his industry, and sense of purpose. With that sense of purpose, we're able to get the demutualization of the grant, and here we are today. Demutualization was 2 years ago. We are now having the Nigerian Exchange as a for-profit entity now. And with all of his passion and directives and what he is offered, the exchange is moving on in that new status of a demutualized entity. So sum all of this together, plus all of his contribution with the Coronation Group, then you agree with me that he deserves this honorary fellowship of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers that has put him in the league of at least 3 head of states of Nigeria who are equally honorary fellows of the Institute.
CIS is 30 years, and we're looking ahead now with the likes of Aigbojie as a fellow. And at a time we've seen significant reforms already by this administration, what lies ahead for the financial and capital market with CIS spearheading?
Well, a lot lies ahead with him coming on board now. The Institute will definitely benefit from his wealth of experience, knowledge, industry, and all of what he can bring on board as an honorary fellow of the Institute. As an honorary fellow, you are bound to contribute to the growth and advancement of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and he has left no one in doubt today that this is just the fresh beginning of what we're going to do with the CIS. And anywhere Ike moves to, anywhere he touches, there's always that touch of a difference. The way he met it is not the way he will leave that place. So definitely the Institute is open and ready. We've always been working together all this while. He's always been participating in most of the Institute's activities. We've always been engaging. So he's not somebody new to the Institute. And that's one of the things that also qualified him, apart from his several achievements in the financial market space.
With one of his legacies of driving the successful demutualization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the addition of Mr. Aigbojie Aig-Imoukhuede as an honorary fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers affirms the fact that people who value hard work, visionary leadership, professionalism, and dynamism are critical to building an inclusive stock exchange.